Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers, and today we are at the Bacolet Beach Club. It's a delightful boutique hotel with a warm and friendly atmosphere. Join us for a tour of this inviting hotel in the next half hour. We'll also keep you in the know with all the major stories happening over the past week in Tobago. So stay with us for all the details, starting with the headlines. The newly commissioned Barbados Bay Jetty is great news for Tobago's economy. 4 primary schools have been expanded, and that's expected to enhance their learning environments. Kids around the island are being urged to maximize the benefits that sport can bring. And later, we'll take you to Pembroke for sweet kaiso in our Let's Talk Tobago Carnival segment. We have all these stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago returns. So stay with us.
Alrighty, yo, this is my recorder Joe, and right now you are watching Let's Talk Tobago. I got you! Bang!
On the outskirts of the capital, Scarborough, is the Bacolet Beach Club. Now, its panoramic ocean views are exceptional. Indoors is also inviting, a cross between island life and luxury. And speaking of the ocean, the Barbados Bay Jetty also offers expansive views. But more importantly, the reopening of the jetty after a decade and a half has significant economic benefits. Patricia Nicholson explains.
Truckers no longer need to journey 10 kilometers to transport material from the Studley Park quarry to the Scarborough port in preparation for shipment to Trinidad. Now it's a 1-kilometer drive to the Barbados Bay Jetty, where the material is placed on a barge for the sister isle. General Manager of Studley Park Enterprise Limited, Dexter East, says the reopening of the jetty has reduced the cost of transporting construction material from the quarry.
As a result of the road congestion and the transport cost that is associated with trucking overland to the Scarborough port, the cost was exorbitant, and that basically put our product at a disadvantage in terms of competitiveness. In addition to that, our jetty, the Barbados Bay Jetty, is approximately 1 kilometer away from our quarry, whereas the Scarborough port is over 10 kilometers. So right off there will be a saving in rehabilitating this jetty.
Mr. East said 2,200 metric tons of material was sold in the jetty's first shipment for about 15 years.
The actual construction of the LNG train 4 and 5, the actual boulders and aggregate was actually shipped from here. Since then, there has been no further shipment, and on the 26th of January 2019 was the first one since.
Studley Park Enterprise Limited has the potential to service the entire country and the Caribbean with aggregate from Tobago.
We have andesite rock, which is the second hardest material right here in Tobago, a highly demanded resource that we can use to build the future of the region. Exxon just discovered 2 more oil deposits off of Guyana, which means that they have over 5 billion gallons of oil to be able to pump. Guyana is going to go through a revolution clearly very soon. It means that this material from Tobago can be, and there's already been some interest I understand, can be used to build the future of Guyana.
THA Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles says he's pleased with how successful the Studley Park quarry has been since its restructuring in 2017.
Operations at the quarry are almost seamless. The quarry is no longer in the news. Sometimes people wonder if the quarry is still around. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we have a propensity to report bad news. So what is good and pleasant is hardly reported. I say congratulations to the board and staff for making the dream a reality.
The Chief Secretary says the operations at the quarry are much more efficient and require fewer staff. More than 100 people worked at the quarry before its restructuring, and those who weren't re-engaged were redeployed within the Tobago House of Assembly. As for the Barbados Bay Jetty, Mr. Charles says it will also be used to ship sand and other material to Tobago. I'm Patricia Nicholson for Let's Talk Tobago.
The Bacolet Beach Club was developed by former fashion model Gloria Jones-Knapp. It overlooks a secluded white sand beach, offering memorable views of the bay below. Now recently, 4 primary school principals proudly opened their new school wings. The expanded facilities will allow them to facilitate more children from surrounding communities in a comfortable learning environment. Here's this story.
4 Tobago primary schools now have more space to create a comfortable learning environment. Hope Anglican, Wim Anglican, Patience Hill Government and Signal Hill Government primary schools recently received keys to new annexes. These prefabricated steel-framed 2-story buildings feature new modern classrooms and libraries. They were delivered by the Division of Education, Innovation and Energy and the Urban Development Company of Trinidad and Tobago, UDICOT.
UDICOT is pleased to partner with the Tobago House of Assembly as it works assiduously in the fulfillment of its mandate to providing access to educational institutions to all the children of Tobago. This mandate goes beyond solely providing a building or a meeting space, but also in providing an environment that promotes and supports the holistic development and lifelong learning.
These schools have increasing student populations from surrounding communities. They'll now have the capacity to enroll more students. Signal Hill Government Principal Tricia Devines welcomes the extra space.
It is indeed an auspicious occasion, a day that would be forever etched in the history of this remarkable premier institution, Signal Hill Government Primary. Our school population currently stands at 375 students and working along with 17 teachers. This new wing will serve to further enhance the teaching-learning classroom experiences as both teachers and students can both be comfortable.
Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles, the Secretary of Education, Innovation and Energy, is encouraging Tobago's teachers to keep inspiring the next generation of leaders to learn.
I want to suggest to you that given the challenges that we are facing today in Trinidad and Tobago, but more importantly, given the fact that we would be called upon to build an island here, then those who we have to prepare, we have a responsibility to ensure that they are well prepared, because they are the ones who would, over time, have to assume the mantle of leadership in this island.
The project is expected to boost the quality of education at these 4 schools. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
Style is a key element at the Bacolet Beach Club, and this is reflected in each room. The rooms are tastefully decorated with an eclectic mix of stylish furnishings, creating a warm and classy ambience for visitors, Caribbean style. Now, it's important to recognize excellence and reward hard work. That's the objective behind the THA Sport Awards. This year's event highlighted some well-known performers and some new up-and-coming faces. More in this story. Sportsmen and women across Tobago were recognized for their dedication and success in 2018. The awards ceremony was hosted by the Division of Sport and Youth Affairs of the Tobago House of Assembly and honored the top Primary School Female Athlete of the Year, Jaleisha Alexander, Primary School Male Athlete of the Year, Kaylon James, Secondary School Female Athlete of the Year, Kalicia George, Secondary School Male Athlete of the Year, Tyreek Hosford, Primary School Female Student Athlete of the Year, QJ Stewart, Primary School Male Student Athlete of the Year, Jay Squashy, Secondary School Female Student Athlete of the Year, Kalicia George, and Secondary School Male Student Athlete of the Year, Cassidy Davidson.
I want to implore you to encourage, support, and invest in your children or your charges. I myself, being a parent of a sporting child, and I will always tell him he's my investment. I will tell him all he has to do is learn, and I will provide. Train hard, and I will do the rest.
Icons in cricket and basketball were also recognized, as well as some outstanding sporting organizations and officials. Taking home the award for Sport Administration of the Year was Tobago YMCA Aqua Warriors. Arlon Morrison was named Coach of the Year, and his club, Kaizen Panthers, won Sporting Association of the Year. While Janelle Edwards was the Sporting Official of the Year. The most outstanding community sports program went to the Roxborough Police Youth Club, while Tobago Sports Live won the category of sport media. Special recognition was given to track and field athlete Andwele Wright. He took home the Secretary's Award for achieving exceptional success over the past year.
If you're good, you will be discovered. Don't let the belief that because we're from Tobago, we won't be able to make it on the international stage. A mantra that a famous coach always said during my time as a footballer, and even now, regardless of how hard things are, we from Tobago, and we can make it anywhere in this world.
The athletes were honored for success in the last year. Tobago secondary schools opened their doors for the recent Careers in Sport Caravan, where they met two of the region's well-known sport-related faces. The details are coming up next, right after these messages. Welcome back. We are at the Bacolet Beach Club, where you can choose the room to suit your needs. From the junior and the superior rooms to the penthouse suites, there's style and comfort all around. Or you can book and enjoy the newest addition, the Tower Suites. We move to the outdoors as Tobago's raw sporting talent continues to grab news headlines. But the island's students and budding athletes are learning there's a whole lot more to sport through the Careers in Sport Caravan. More in this story from Kern de Freitas.
Sport development in Tobago is taking a holistic approach. Producing world-class athletes is just one aspect. It's also focused on health and well-being, key values such as teamwork and dedication, and of course, having a successful career. The recent Careers in Sport Caravan was hosted at secondary schools across the island. It featured former national footballer Brent Sancho and prominent regional sport presenter Alex Jordan. The sessions are encouraging students to think about their lives ahead, both on and off the court.
Life have processes and steps, and it's important sometimes as a former player, former athlete, that you could detail some of these steps to these young children, because they may see the big prize at the end, but they may not understand the processes and the steps that come with it. And some of the questions that the young persons are asking, you can see that they're starting to think and starting to understand some of the things that you would need to do to make it to all the way up to either being a professional footballer or whatever athlete.
According to Mr. Sancho, hard work was a big part of his journey. But he says it all starts with a dream.
We have a phobia here in the Caribbean that we are scared to dream big. We feel that because we're from the Caribbean that we cannot achieve big things. And I want us to start to dream big. As I mentioned, Dwight York, Sid Gray, Akeem Stewart, just to name a few, they dreamt big and they make it big.
The students are also being encouraged to consider the benefits of sport beyond trophies and financial rewards.
Sport is a way to build yourself up. You join a team, you're part of a community, you eat better, you're physically more healthy, your mind is clearer, you manage your time better, you surround yourself with like-minded people. So this would be my message, would be that sport is a wonderful way to keep balance in your life, to earn a living, or to create a life. You know, it's invaluable. Hopefully some of those messages sink in.
The students also enjoyed the session, and some of them left inspired.
Apart from sports is a concept that I would take in everything, even as the man said, in schoolwork. So how I have exams coming up just now, I will definitely be working hard in those areas and dreaming big.
The most important thing I took away from the session is the fact that you have to learn to accept failure. Failure is a part of success. That really touched me personally.
To believe in yourself, to never give up. No matter how much somebody tell you that you can't do it, you could do it. Just believe in yourself and work hard.
10 sessions were held during the week-long event. The caravan was hosted by the Division of Sport and Youth Affairs. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
At Bacolet Beach Club, you will always have activities on your agenda. Take a dip in the infinity pool overlooking the bay or a swim in the Bacolet Bay below. Or you can stroll across the small bridge that leads to the charming Cafe Havana lounge and bar. Now, as you know, we are in the midst of the carnival season. Fittingly, Dr. Hollis Liverpool, sobriquet the Mighty Chalk Dust, paid the island a visit to share the history of a world-renowned art form, Calypso. Omadara Mills brings us this story.
That Calypso is more than a work of art. It is a feeling that comes from deep within. A tale of joy or one of suffering. It's an editorial in song of the life that we undergo, that and only that I know is true Calypso.
As an academic and a Calypsonian, Dr. Hollis Liverpool, the Mighty Chalk Dust, brings his skill and history to the stage in equal measure. He has a wide-ranging knowledge of carnival and Calypso. That's why he was selected by the Tobago Writers Guild and the Tobago Library Services to host their first monthly literary lecture series. During his presentation at the Mason Hall Secondary School, Dr. Liverpool gives evidence that Calypso and Carnival can be traced back to West Africa and even further to Egypt.
We use the 2/2 rhythm for our Calypso because if we have to cut it up, we can get 8s and 16s. If we use the 4/4 rhythm, a little harder for us. But we use the 2/2 rhythm, 1, 2. And you can go from the north of Africa right down to South Africa doing that. The Calypso rhythm. That's not Trinidad, that is African people thing.
Dr. Liverpool's lecture was entitled Calypso, More Than a Metaphor. He says it's important to understand figures of speech like puns, similes, and metaphors in the Calypso art form.
So metaphors are what we use a lot. And we use metaphors especially in smut.
Dr. Liverpool has recorded hundreds of calypsos. He's the most decorated calypso monarch with 9 titles, and he's earned his PhD in history and ethnomusicology. Many attendees appreciated the knowledge shared by Chalk Dust. Some even suggested ways in which the youths can be taught the calypso genre.
Dr. Professor Hollis Liverpool should use his influence to have poetry introduced or reintroduced in primary schools so that children could learn to write poetry, then they learn to write calypso because calypso is simply poetry put to music.
The literary lecture series is being done to educate Tobagonians of matters of social, historical, and health-related significance. The lectures will take place at various locations around the island each month. Dr. Roxanne Mitchell, a medical practitioner, as well as Dr. Rita Pemberton, a historian, are some of the upcoming presenters under the initiative. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Thinking of tying the knot while on vacation? No worries. The Bacolet Beach Club and Cafe Havana restaurants are ready and able to help you accomplish your dream wedding, whether it's an intimate ceremony or a lavish banquet for up to 120 people. Now this, spoken word artist Cleon McPherson has been making waves thanks to his unique, engaging performing style. And as Crystal George reports, his first film won the competition at the Barbados Independent Film Festival. Have a look.
We all know him for his versatility and play on words when delivering his spoken word pieces. Meet Tobago-born, spoken word extraordinaire Cleon McPherson, winner of the Carmichael Award for exceptional storytelling at the Barbados Independent Film Festival. He was honored at the festival for his short film entitled Back in Times. He says it's a piece to which everyone, anywhere in the world can relate.
Well, basically, I knew the film itself was something very powerful and very good. So I knew more persons supposed to be able to view the film and have an idea in terms of Tobago culture and Trinidad and Tobago on a whole. I get an idea because it's a film that is relatable within the region. So it's not something very foreign that persons wouldn't be able to identify with. So that's a good thing about it, where it's relatable. Once you have probably 30 years on you, you'll be able to relate to a certain extent. And then, from the reviews I got from the Barbados Film Festival, they talked about how it was very powerful.
Cleon has been performing for more than 6 years and has 35 spoken word poems under his belt. It all started when one of his friends heard him recite and asked him to perform at an event. Cleon's love for the art form grew to the unique style he now possesses.
A friend of mine at the time told me to come to perform at one of the events. This would have been about 8 years ago. I always thought it was for like a different set of crowd, a bunch of squares. And I went to perform. The feedback was good. I like to do pieces that are more outside of the box. Give you a kind of lighter feeling as well. Usually, when persons do pieces that are usually heavy, they tend not to revisit it much, right? So I always try to give pieces that actually has a message. It might be humorous to a certain extent, but also it comes out with a message.
And Cleon has a word of advice for anyone who is willing to get into and hone this special craft.
Be yourself, be yourself. The thing about it is that with me, I am considered a rebel in the spoken word art form. And I think that's why I'll be able to have so I guess, longevity. Most of my pieces, usually you could perform it now and perform it 5 years on the road, it still be relevant. So always try to be yourself and craft your skills where that it could stand the test of time. As well, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You also probably might get criticism as well. But once you believe in a product or once you believe in that, by all means, go ahead.
I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
After the break, the carnival season is in full swing and we get up close with some of our favorite calypso performers in our Let's Talk Tobago Carnival series. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Alrighty, yo, this is my recorder Joe, and right now you are watching Let's Talk Tobago. I got you! Bang!
The Bacolet Beach Club staff will ensure you get the chance to visit the sites and attractions around Tobago. Tours are available to all guests upon request. Now, you can't have carnival without calypso, and this week we followed the Kaiso Commissioner's tent, which stopped in at the Pembroke Heritage Park. Here are the highlights in our Let's Talk Tobago Carnival segments. Kaiso, kaiso. Call it calypso or kaiso, one thing remains the same. It's an avenue to highlight important social issues, whether the vehicle is political commentary, the nation-building ballad, or humor. Two of the island's carnival tents for 2019, the House of Calypso and the Kaiso Commissioner's tent, are being hosted by the Department of Culture in the Tobago House of Assembly. The two roving tents visit various communities, and we stopped in at Pembroke.
It gets so cold out there, sometimes I feel I would die. No lie, can't take no more problems. I don't tell my friends and them. Sayonara, adios, and goodbye.
Wave the rock and the wave. The performance tonight is just a repeat of 2010 year, because in 2010 I did a song here called Assembly Clean Up Tongue. And this is just a next performance after 2010 with this song here, Time to Party. Wave the rock and let me see you rock up in the air. Want to wave them rock for me.
The Bible said, obey the golden rule. But why some people playing me for a fool? They acting like it's them alone, no Bible. They think they're bright, but them is Satan disciple. Do unto others, so it says, as you have them, do unto you. The golden rule is what I know. All of we know Bible. So if you show me love, I show in love too. You're wicked and spiteful, fire for you. But if you're nice and sweet.
According to the National Carnival Commission, the first wave of professional calypsonians became known as the Old Brigade, including singers such as Lord Pretender. By 1945, a new rank of bards rose to meet the increasing demand for entertaining songs. This young brigade include calypso icons Lord Kitchener and the Mighty Spoiler. Now there are young calypsonians in Tobago like Garvey Sandy and Caston Cupid carrying the torch.
Flood on top of flood. It's the worst we had in the country. I was shocked by how it affected me. Listen, to see people waist high in mud. The devastation put my mind to the sword.
Well, the performance was nice. I enjoyed the energy from the crowd, and the band made some changes to the song because I focus on, I have a plan for this season, and the performance tonight was really, really important for that plan, especially days before the judges come up.
The small fry who will take lash from you and cry. If you feel cause I raise my voice again, you can lash me well by your life. It's tit for tat. I'm hitting back. You can't lash me. I'm not taking that. Raise your hand to me. You have to be correct. I gonna make you whole. How many wear black? If you bust me mouth, I'm black in your eye. If you pull a knife, I pull in the guy. If your senses covered by your fat.
To find out where the tents are headed next, you can visit the Facebook page of the Tobago Festivals Commission. And it's now time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, the viewers. Let's take a look at who had their say this week.
I want to ask a question. What do you question?
It was A.
It's why you're spelling things. That's a quick question. Nothing.
There's no hold on. I'm waiting for the money for the question now. It's that time again. It's Have Your Say time again. Thank God I'm alive and well and here to face another day. Okay, the question for today is, who do you think would win this year's International Groovy and Soca Monarch? This is what you said.
It was sticky, no, but...
Well, for me, it's a toss-up between two for the power, which is Family and Run With It, and for the Groovy, I'll go for my boy, the Garbage Bang Man. I
really like Yvonne's song. And Trouble in the Morning. And for power, well, obviously, Mr. Killer. He have the vibes. The whole vibes.
So far, it looks like Mr. Killer will win the competition.
Power, Soca Monarch, I would choose Mr. Killer. I just like the song, I like the vibes, the energy that it brings to the section. The power, it's a real power.
I'm rooting for Mr. Killer. I think he did an excellent job in the semi-finals, so I'm rooting for him to win in the finals. In the Groovy, well, I can say Blacks, or probably the guy, I'm not sure if he got in, the guy who sing Harder, Push It Back Harder. I like that song.
Kessan's skin is fabulous.
I feel in Kes, but for the Groovy, I feel it's Nadia.
I really like Swappy and Farmer Nappy, but Farmer Nappy was a little ahead earlier, but right now Swappy really going clear. I love Swappy. As you hear Swappy tune on the radio, everybody go on.
For the Groovy, I would choose Swappy. I just like the beat, the message in the song is a good one too. So those are my two choices. Mr. Killer for power and Swappy for Groovy.
Give me the wine and space right now. Give me the rhythm for me waist. Boom bam, boom bam, boom bam.
We close yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please Email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, for more information on the Bacolet Beach Club, you can contact 639-3551 or visit their website at www.bacoletbeachclub.com. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week.